Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Jeremy aka Janemba back again with another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. Today I'm on the global side of the game again to talk to you guys about the Merry Christmas campaign, more specifically about the God Dragonstone 8 that we received at the start of Part 1. And I'm going to talk to you guys about what units I recommend, in my opinion, what I think are the best units to pick up and what units I recommend just passing by altogether. Now you should just only have, you should have received one, and we're only getting one of these God Dragonstone 8s as far as I know, so you want to make sure you're making your choice wisely, because there's quite a few good units to pick from, and there's other ones, like I said, just you shouldn't even be worried about. So, part 2 of the Merry Christmas campaign should be starting here the next day or so. If you haven't spent this Dragonstone yet, don't worry, you still have plenty of time, and I'll talk about that here later, but make sure you do spend the stone because there are some really good units. So let's go ahead and jump into the game real quick. So on the right side of the screen there you can see all the units there are to choose from. I'll get a little bit better picture of that here in a little bit. If you actually hop over here into the news tab, you can find this roster of units underneath the Christmas Select Dokkan Festival, where you can see all of these units. You can only select one with the God Dragonstone, so choose wisely. It'll all depend on what units you have and what you already have rainbowed, but there are 29 total. Most, if not all of them, can be Extreme Z Awakened. It gives you 4 examples right here. The event period, as you can see, ends on January 7th, 2020. And then an important note down here is if the God Dragonstone 8 is not used during the event period, it will be rendered obsolete after the event ends. So make sure you don't pass this opportunity by. Don't let that God Dragonstone go to waste. You go over to the Baba's shop over here, and you can see right here is where you're able to view all of the units and pick the one that you want. So again, this will all be opinion based, and it'll also depend on what units you already have. But hopefully, if you haven't spent that stone yet, I can kind of help you narrow down your options. So let's go ahead and hop over to the Dokkan Wiki, where we can see here an even bigger roster of the units. And let me get my mouse to pop up here. There we go. So I'll tell you real quick, most of my recommendations will come from line 1 and 2, but this Gohan right here is also a recommendation. We'll talk about the breakdown here in a second. But before we start, if you recognize from the Dokkan thank you gift cards, there's a lot of units that are here that you could have picked up from there. So the Goku, Gohan, Goten, the Trunks and Vegeta, and then the bottom 6 units here, and then a couple other ones, Super Saiyan 3 Goku and stuff like that. You could have picked these units up with the thank you celebration gift card. So I definitely, they're good units, but they are not worth spending this God Dragonstone on. There are some better options for you. So let's go ahead and start out with the first recommendation. Now, mind you, all of these units I'm going to be talking about, the stats that I'm talking about, are their Extreme Z Awakened state. So you'll need to get the unit, awaken them, and then Extreme Z Awaken them to get the stats that I'm going to be talking about today. Now, all of these units, they're not in really any specific order. They're all really good, and like I said, the recommendation is going to be based off what you have in your box already. So with that, let's go ahead and start with my first recommendation, which is going to be the Supreme Warrior Super Gogeta. Once he gets Extreme Z Awakened, all types key plus 3 HP attack and defense plus 77% leader skill. His super attack is going to lower enemy attack and defense, and then his passive skill, attack and defense plus 77%, attack plus 7% per rainbow key sphere obtained, and the best part about it is his attacks, like most Gogetas, are effective against all types. So he's after he gets his Extreme Z Awakening, he is a really good unit, pretty hard-hitting unit, and he is super effective against all types. And then with his 3 categories being Fusion, Movie Heroes, and Super Saiyans, some really good teams you can fit him on there. So with all of these units, if you already have them, or if you already have all of my recommended units that I'm going to say, go ahead and start working on some hidden potential paths. Unlock the bottom right, the top left, or put them into super attack. Whatever you need to do. If you've already got these guys rainbowed out, then, well, there's some other units that we all have kind of a secondary recommendation pool towards the end of the video. But anyway, first unit recommended there. Let's go ahead and hop into the second one, which is going to be Perfect Cell, the Tech Perfect Cell. Once he gets Extreme Z Awakened, leader skill, tech type, key plus 3 HP attack and defense plus 70%, and then his super attack, he will recover 10% HP, every time he launches that, and his passive skill, attack and defense plus 15% per key sphere obtained, and then he gets key plus 1 in addition per rainbow key sphere that he obtains. So I actually was able to max out the damage on this guy for the Dokkan punching bag instead of using the LR Friku or LR Int Gohan, because the good thing about that passive skill is, if you can see here, he gets that attack and defense plus 15% per any key sphere. It doesn't have any specific one like most nuking units. So you can pick up any key sphere there and get that 15% to attack and defense for each one. And then it helps to have some additional key every time you use or pick up a rainbow key sphere. So really good unit there. I've got him rainbowed out. I've got a lot into his crit, but he is a hard-hitting unit, and he also can be tanky. So really good unit to pick up there. And you can see here he's got a laundry list full of categories that he fits on there. So really good unit. Let's go ahead and hop into the next one, which is going to be the Int Super Janemba. Once he gets Extreme Z Awakened, his leader skill a little bit better than the last two, with Int type, key plus 3 HP attack and defense plus 90%. Super attack is going to greatly lower the defense of the enemy, and his passive skill is attack and defense plus 70%, guard activated against all attacks, and he has a medium chance, which is 25% chance, to evade enemies' attack, including super attacks, for 1 turn, and he gets an additional attack plus 40% for 4 turns when guard is activated, and his guard's going to be activated against all attacks, so he's going to be getting that additional attack plus 40% for 4 turns pretty much every time he is attacked. And then he's very good to put on an Extreme Int team or a Movie Bosses or Transformation Boost team. He got that Extreme Z Awakening not too long ago. Really good unit there. Really good unit. Go ahead and pick him up if you don't have him. Next recommendation is going to be Super Saiyan 3 Strength Vegeta. You want to make sure you're looking at the Strength copy, because the Tech Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta is in here as well, but you want to go for the Strength one if you don't have him. Leader skill similar to Janemba's, with Strength type, key plus 3 HP attack and defense plus 90%. His super attack has a high chance of stunning the enemy, which is a 50% chance. And then his passive skill is where he really shines. He reduces damage received by 80% for 10 turns from the start of turn. And then also he gets attack plus 120% when he attacks a stunned enemy. So you can stun an enemy and then attack him. If you have him already stunned or whatever, you get that attack plus 120%. But anyway, he is one of the tankiest units in the game for events like Dokkan events or Super Battle Road. He is a really good tanky unit. The only thing I don't recommend bringing in is longer events like the Fighting Legend Goku, because it does last past 10 turns, and then after that his defense is rendered basically useless. So he can tank that damage for 10 turns, but again, he is one of the best units for tanking, so don't sleep on this guy. Really good unit. Let's go ahead and hop into the next one, which is going to be the Strength Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, which in my opinion, once he gets Extreme Z Awakened, has it's pretty straightforward. His leader skill is one of the best leader skills of all the units you can pick here, because not only is it a dual category, or should I say a primary and secondary leader skill, but also he has 100% on Kamehameha category, which is one of the best categories in the game currently. Kamehameha category, key plus 3 HP attack and defense plus 100%, or he also has all types key plus 3 HP attack and defense plus 77%. So really good leader skills there. Super attack is going to greatly raise attack for 1 turn, and then his passive skill is going to be key plus 3 and attack and defense plus 77% at start of turn, plus he gets an additional attack plus 59% when he performs a super attack with a Super Saiyan Goku attacking in the same turn. So he is a really hard-hitting unit, really good for the Kamehameha team as far as category lead goes, and really good unit in general. Now, if you do not have the LRAGL Gohan, this is a good person to put as a Kamehameha lead instead. If you do have the LRAGL Gohan, you can still run these guys on the same team, because the AGL Gohan starts out as Super Saiyan 1, and this is Super Saiyan 2. So you can run both of those guys together on the same team, or you can use them both for Dokkan Battlefield as a primary and secondary leader for Kamehameha, so on and so forth. So also you can see down at the bottom here, he has a lot of categories that he can fit in. Hybrid Saiyans, Full Power, Goku's Family, Youth, Android Cell Saga, Kamehameha, and on Global we don't have Bond of Master and Disciple yet, but a lot of good categories to fit on. Really good unit. Definitely recommend grabbing him. So let's go ahead and hop into the next unit, which is going to be Super Saiyan 3 Goku. This is an older unit, however, once he gets his Extreme Z Awakening, he is a really hard-hitting unit. So, leader skill, AGL type, key plus 3 HP attack and defense with 70%. Super attack is going to greatly lower enemies' defense, and his passive skill is going to be defense plus 70% at start of turn, and then he gets attack plus 120% for 7 turns from start of turn. I have this guy rainbowed, and I have some crit built into his hidden potential, and he hits like a truck. He is an amazing unit, really good to throw on a Super AGL team, really good to put on Super Saiyan 3 team. I mean, really, any of his categories he fits well on, and he does really well as far as hard hitting, and he can tank decently as well sometimes. So, really good unit there. Like I say, he is an older unit, but do not sleep on this guy either. Extreme Z Awakening made this guy a really good hard-hitting unit. So definitely recommend, if you don't have him, or if you don't have any of his paths unlocked, go ahead and pick him up. So we'll go ahead and talk about my final recommendation here for the primary pool of units. Going to be the Strength Broly, which is basically the baby brother of the LR Strength Broly, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But his leader skill, Strength type, key plus 3 HP attack and defense plus 70%, but like the LR Broly, his super attack is also an AoE, so he'll attack all enemies on his super attack, and he also raises attack for 3 turns, and his passive skill is attack and defense plus 80% when attacking. So he raises his own attack, raises his own defense, and he attacks all enemies. I've got a couple paths on this guy unlocked, got some crit and some additional attacks in there. He hits like a truck, and he also attacks all enemies. So for World Tournament, he is really, really good. And I mean, in any other situation, he's also pretty good as well. You can see on the categories there, movie bosses, Pure Saiyan's full power, and we don't have Target Goku yet on Global. But you cannot run this guy on the same team as the LR Strength Broly. However, you are able to run him on the same team as the Fizz movie boss's lead Broly, and they do very well together, especially in World Tournament. Both of these guys, or both of them, do attack all units, and it makes World Tournament grinding a lot easier if you're still into grinding World Tournament. But anyway, really good unit there, hard-hitting unit, plus really good because he attacks all enemies. And he has some pretty good categories there as well. So pick a copy of him up. Again, if you have all these guys, go ahead and put some of it into hidden potential. But otherwise, if you have all those guys, have them all rainbowed, or you want to just look for another unit, I'll kind of just lightly brush. You know, the Int Gohan here is not too bad. The Fizz Kid Buu is a support unit for all allies. The Tech Beerus has a rage mode that gets activated when he's 40% HP or below, and that'll happen twice. And then the physical full power Frieza, he's a pretty decent unit as well. Pretty hard-hitting unit, not too bad there. The rest of these units, again, besides the Gohan, below the top 2 lines, I don't really recommend going in on, because they are really good units, don't get me wrong, but there are better units above that you can pick for the God Dragonstone. So most of you guys probably have a lot of these units, as I do, especially because of the Dokkan Thank You Celebration ticket. You're able to pick up most of these guys. These bottom 6, I don't know if I said it earlier, they don't have Extreme Z Awakenings yet, but they will be getting them here soon on Global. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I got. Those are my recommendations. Hopefully I gave you guys some useful information today. If you haven't spent that stone yet, hopefully I helped you out to kind of narrow down your selection. With that, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and drop a like down below, subscribe. I've got a lot more content on the way. Drop a comment as well. Tell me what units you guys are picking out. Tell me what units you're excited for part 2 of the celebration. I'm pretty sure there's a good chance LR Gobros is coming back, and LR Kellen Khalifa is almost guaranteed to come on Global side now, because the super attack animation was just released. But anyway, yeah, again, drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. As always, I've got more content on the way. I appreciate you guys checking out the video today, and I'll catch you on the next one. Signing out.